Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe and this is UFC Collect Profit. Today we're doing our bi-weekly review of sealed product, hobby boxes specifically, that released in 2025 to do a little market update to see where the current prices are, how many items are sold over the last 2 weeks, and to see what is currently available on the market to purchase. And just to have a discussion about it and kind of see where we think these boxes may go price-wise, maybe some buying opportunities, maybe not. So let's get right into it. So the first product is the 2025 Panini Combat Anthology Hobby Box. The price on blowout cards currently today is January 3rd, is call it 150 bucks. That is the current price on blowoutcards.com, which I use as a reference point for market data. And just as a reminder, at the end of this video, I will pull up a spreadsheet that will summarize everything we talked about and give a better perspective on the data from this in one simplified format. So now we go to cardladder.com. We can see over the past 2 weeks, there have been a lot of sales of Panini Combat Anthology, over 30 boxes, because one of these sales includes a sealed case. What's interesting is that the price has been a little bit suppressed by one seller. Actually, two sellers. So you have this seller here, Signed Ken 77, selling at fixed price $115, which in my opinion is too cheap. Then you have another person suppressing the price, AMT Memorabilia, which I believe does consignment. And they're auctioning off boxes, and we know the rule of thumb is that typically auction prices perform worse than fixed. But in this case, it's about the same price as the fixed or less. And they're just, in my opinion, this does nothing for the market. It just suppresses the pricing. But this temporary downward trend could be good for buying opportunity if you believe in the product. And it's interesting because there were consistent sales here, at least for a little bit, 120, 130, 120, 130, 145, fixed price, and then boom, all these sellers came in with all this product and just suppressed the price. So it's going to be curious to see where this moves from here. So we look currently on eBay for Panini Combat Anthology, which I'm a fan of the product. It was well received by fans. The cards are pretty cool. Great inserts, has good one-on-ones, cool dual autographs, a wider range of UFC fighters, boxers, WWE. It's a fun product, and I definitely recommend taking a look at it. But scrolling here, there's a lot of this stuff available on eBay. There's 19 listings, one case, a couple individual boxes here. So definitely not a scarce product. You see here though, like TNT North is doing it right in my opinion by listing at $137.88 and has 51 sold. Like hold your price and hold your on. Like don't put yourself in a position like here. Like this guy just listing one box after another and just crushing the price for people. And you have to wait till this person sells out to be done with it probably, to have any upward movement in the price. Other opportunities, maybe you buy some here for cheap. I mean, it's definitely cheaper than blowout at $150. Consider this the gravity point where the prices will eventually come up to here. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. And this is a price increase over the last one. I'll show you that on the next spreadsheet. But until these sellers clear out and the price gravitates more towards this 138, I would buy cheap when the opportunity comes or just hold. So that's enough for Panini Combat Anthology. Now we'll move on to Topps UFC Finest. Blowout price is up from last 2 weeks ago. They increased it to $250 a box. Current sales are kind of all over the place. There's been over 30 of these boxes that have sold over the last 2 weeks. But you can see consistent prices under 200, kind of inched up a little bit as we got closer to Christmas. A case sold at less than 200 a box. Around the holidays, 195, 180, 165 again, price suppression. Prices went up a little bit, but then the last fixed price was at 215, which is a positive sign in my opinion. And I like that the last auction was on the 29th, and then you have fixed pricing here. So like this one, 247.11, this is good. But then you have cheaper best offers here. Then you have somebody selling it for 180. I don't know why somebody would sell it that cheap, but they did. So again, like this downward trend and hopefully some possible movement upward. We look at current product on eBay, and there is a lot of this product on eBay. Multiple cases, multiple seal product. Again, we go through the pricing. Just as a reminder, blowout was at 250. So like anything above 250 on eBay, I would kind of ignore. Then we look items below 250. Toy Wiz is a big seller. They're at 250. Keep going. 225. 215. Again, we keep going lower and lower and lower. We're 200 here, but this I think is a breaker. I don't know if you can buy this right now. Let me see. Yeah, this is an eBay Live break. It's not loaded, I don't know why. But usually when you see this, it's usually a break. So let's call the cheapest buy now is at 215, which is significantly cheaper than blowout. Then also you have two auctions here, which I'm gonna put on my watch list. If I can get these for 180 or cheaper, I'm gonna buy them. But again, plenty of supply in here, plenty cheap enough. And again, we need this stuff to sell through at the cheaper prices to get closer to this price here. There's only one left here according to blowout, but that could just be market manipulation. They're showing you they have one, but they have 10,000 in the warehouse. We already kind of know that trick. So that covers finest. We go to 2025 Topps Knockout. This product also has been trending up a little bit. It hasn't been $299.95, I think, since release day, or I don't know if it was ever that price, but $249 is slightly higher than it was 2 weeks ago. We go to cardladder.com. We have about 23 sales, give or take, over the past 2 weeks. So call that, no, it's actually 28, I believe, because this one is 3. So a little more than 2 a day, or about 2 a day, give or take. But again, fixed prices at 200. You have fixed price at 150. I don't know why somebody would sell this at 150. That's just insane. Closer to 200, which I like. Somebody bought at 260, 210. You had 185, 200. I don't believe this price here for 335. I think that's an outlier. There's something weird about that one. But call it that market is like 210 to 225. For actual sold, plus tax, plus shipping. You got to factor all that in. Then we go to eBay, and there's a ton of this product on the market, more than any other product. There's cases of this stuff. This stuff is a breaker's dream. A lot of breakers on whatnot have been cracking knockouts specifically. 3 cases at a time, 5 cases at a time. So this stuff is not hard to find. The key is to try to find a good price for it. That is the trick. So we're gonna kind of scroll through here. The single prices, again, we're scrolling a ton just because there's so much of this. David Adams, big seller, $277.95, big number. We're down to 230, 225. Again, this is a break, so we're gonna call it 235 shipped, which is not significantly cheaper than blowout, but it is a little cheaper. Then we have a couple auctions, or we have one auction here, sorry, one auction. I'm gonna mark this, it's 200, just to see where that ends at. Then we have some more here, 336. These are out of the country though. UK, Germany, kind of ignore that, being in the US. But a ton of this product here, and it makes you wonder if these individuals are gonna hold on to it, or they're just gonna dump it eventually, so you need to keep an eye on that as well. There's a little bit of fear in this product, at least from my point of view. I'd be a little bit leery of knockout unless you can get it dirt cheap. Next product, 2025 Topps UFC Midnight, holding the line at $330 a box on blowout. We go to Card Ladder, very, very light sales, less than a box a day. $270, 335 is solid, 325 is solid. Then we have an auction for 250, fixed price at 330, and auction for 280. Again, like a $50 price difference between the two, which is enough, to make or break an investment in this or to have a philosophy on this. But like holding the line on these prices, if you can be at like 330 for blowout and you can sell, like good for you. You're not going to sell a ton of it, but this is a long-term thing. Like if you can make money on this, buying it cheap, like buying this at 250, selling it at 330, making your nickels and dimes here, but then stashing away some of this too. Like you can do both in the same product. You can have a long-term position on a product and sell a little bit at a time and make your profit and kind of keep a little bit of cash flow, keep yourself fluid, but still have a position. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. They're currently on eBay. There's some of this product, not a ton. There's a couple of cases up here. You have a lot of overpriced product here, or at least a couple that are overpriced. This one's Italy. We'll ignore that. This is David Adams at $345. You have Port Dog, another seller, $330, $330, $289, $269. So like, again, this is a breaker. This is a breaker here. Let me try to see. Rip and ship. Like this is they only let you, like if you can get it for a discount, but they open it for you on stream and ship it to you. If you're trying to buy the product to hold on to, like obviously they won't do that. So maybe if you're interested in it, you should make a best offer on this one at 310, 330. I think this is a wait until more auctions pop up. But right now it's just buy nows and kind of a weird time for UFC product. I mean, you still have like a month until the next event, give or take, and then it'll take off. And I wonder if because we're in this low UFC, if there's like some consolidation and people are trying to figure out this dead period of 6 weeks where there's no UFC fights. But all this stuff is available and a lot of it is priced high, but it is what it is. Next product, 2025 Topps UFC Chrome at 280. Again, I believe this was as low as 230 a box a couple of weeks ago. We'll pull up the spreadsheet at the end to see. Then they jacked the price up to 280, which in my opinion is a good sign because this is the price that people will see now. The people that saw it at 230, they bought it at 230 hopefully. And now you have the people seeing the price now, their mind is going to be at 280. And they didn't see it for 230, or if they did, they didn't buy it anyway. So mentally, whether it makes sense or not, like this is the new market price of it, which you want to see from these huge sellers to escalate the price up slowly over time. Like that's the whole point of this. So you see the 280, we see the car ladder sales, like not too many sales over the past 2 weeks. You had a best offer 270, fixed price at 230, which is too cheap. But this is another ripper, so they opened it up and ripped it on stream. So if you wanted the box, you couldn't get it for that price anyway. 260, 245, throw that number out. That's the value box or the mega box. 280, 240, 280. That's midnight, so throw that out. So like somebody sold a box at 240. I think that's way too cheap. If this is at 280, like people, I don't know if sellers do any research when they sell this stuff or they just look at what they paid and they go from there. Like you owe it to yourself to maximize the value, to sell it at the right time and see where the market's at. And I think some people, either they're lazy or they don't care or they're just trying to move out of the product, but I think people are leaving money on the table. So to see what's available for Topps Chrome, again, a lot of the product on the market, a couple cases, a couple highly priced individual boxes, which I'd rather see highly priced boxes than too cheap. So blowouts at 280. You see a lot of these over 280. So I'm more interested in what's 280 or less to get up to that price is the bottom. So you see like 278 here, 270. Mama breaks, you can't count. It has to be ripped live. I don't count that price. This is a pretty good price, 260, even though it's more than the 230 during the holidays. This is what's here now. You can't go by that price then. If you wanted it, you should have bought it then. We go down here again, another breaker. 250 or best offer, 255 or best offer. 250 or best offer. Maybe you reach out to Hobby Joy, buy from them directly, get it for the 230. So interesting opportunities here. Topps Chrome's a good product. I like it. So that kind of does that one. Next, we're on the Topps Chrome UFC Sapphire. $3.10 a box on blowout. Scattered sales over the past 2 weeks, not too many. Fixed price at $300, which I like. I don't like it at $250. Like they're selling it too cheap, in my opinion. Like hopefully somebody scooped these up. I missed these. I didn't get them. Fixed price at $330, $260 too cheap, $240 way too cheap, $275. These are people just selling product, just stores trying to get money and cash flow. It's certainly not investors, at least now how I look at it. I'm a fan of the $330 price. We go to eBay to see what's on here. There's a ton of this stuff on eBay, which hopefully will lead to cheaper prices over time. So just as a reminder, we're at $310. So there's a lot of stuff over the $310. So these are people kind of like with the hopes and dreams. I don't know if they think the market's going to clear out on eBay or they listed it and they don't know what's up there. In my opinion, if you have it listed for $430 your best offer, you're better off pulling it off at eBay and just waiting. Like don't have it up there for that price. It just causes a glut of inventory and it creates a bad narrative for all the sellers. But it's not like these people are talking together and trying to strategize. I'm just giving you my kind of perspective on it. If I had a ton of this I wanted to sell right now, I certainly wouldn't be listing it on eBay over market. Like either sell it and get out of it or hold on to it. So again, like we're still scrolling, we're still going, and there's a ton of this. Reminder, $310 is the gravity price where things will tend to go towards. So we have another big seller, Days Ads with $325. We have Mill Creek Sports, another huge seller. They do a lot of sports autographs and memorabilia. I didn't realize they did sealed, but I don't know how much they have. Let's see if they have a ton of it. I'm just curious. So they have 3. So they probably just bought 3 from Topps Direct. I'm assuming they bought out a collection. So that's at about market $310. So let's see how much is below $310. A decent amount. We're still going. $260, $255, $250. An auction at $185. I'm going to bookmark this one. And that kind of sums that up. So again, $310, but you could buy for $257 right now. And let's see if they have quantity. I'm assuming they do. They don't, so it's only one. So if you look in your app position, this is the way to go. I don't think it's going to go too much lower. I remember auctions being as low as $230, but if you want to buy it now, like that's not too bad. Then to kind of wrap up this segment of products, 2024 Topps Royalty, which did release in 2025. That's why it's covered. So Blowout increased their price from $900 to $925 with 3 boxes left. I'm not sure what the thought process is. I'm not sure if Blowout just prices by algorithm or if they actually have people looking at it and manually doing it. If anyone has an idea of how Blowout prices, I'd be curious. But they jacked up their price to $925, which I'd rather see that. Look at card ladder sales, only one sale in the past 2 weeks for $765 by auction. Then we go currently on eBay, we have 3 sealed cases, 1,000 a box, 1,000 a box, call it $950 a box. This is misleading. It looks like it's a case, but he's selling 1 box at a time out of Italy. You have David Adams at $930 a box. You have a rip and ship at $925, another rip and ship at $900. You have 1 box at $900 or best offer. See how many boxes they have. Just 1. So maybe you offer them $850 if you want it that bad. Not a lot of movement on royalty, which is kind of par for the course. So that kind of reviews everything from a data point of view. So let me pull up the spreadsheet and kind of do a quick recap. So we'll focus on the top portion of the sheet here. This is the order I did the boxes in on the left. The release date of each product. MSRP, estimated print run of each product, the price on Blowout on November 7th, then how many sold from this time period, how many boxes, price on Blowout December 20th, how many products sold from this time period, and then the price on Blowout as of today. So Blowout is trended up on all these products from Panini Combat Anthology. It's up $5 from the low. Finest up $45 from the low. Knockout is up $25 from the low. Midnight has stayed the same for 2 months. Pricing for Chrome dipped to $230, now it's up to $280. Sapphire is down 20 bucks since the high. It's the only one that is down from November, which is interesting. And then royalties up a little bit. And again, like in the previous 2 weeks in December, the top seller was Knockout based on volume. This time, we had more volume overall from the top 3. So UFC Finest was the top seller over the last 2 weeks, followed by Anthology. And then a close third was Knockout. So Anthology doubled the amount of sales. So that's kind of bullish for that product. UFC and Knockout are holding steady. Midnight, significant drop by half. And again, we're not including breakers in this because unless I sit on Whatnot all day and I track the breaks. But I know people do break with Midnight product on Whatnot. I've seen it. Chrome's about the same. Sapphire a little down. Royalty, there's not enough data to really make any judgment on this. But again, that's just where we're at. So overall, my market perspective is in like a weird consolidation period where you have people asking way too much for the product. There's less people selling it for a cheaper price. And there's a sweet spot in the middle where it's the right price at the right moment right now. Is there anything that's a screaming buy at the moment? In my opinion, if you can get Sapphire cheap, which if you can get it at $250 or less, I would say that's a buy right now. And then I think Panini Combat Anthology, if individuals are still willing to sell it for $115 or less, you scoop it up. I know my prices that I get for some distributors that I'm on an email list on, I'm not going to say who, because the email says it's private. I don't know how legally compliant that is or if that matters or not. The price direct from this one distributor is $117. So my thought, if you can get it cheaper than that, and hopefully by now you're tax exempt, like if you're going to do this seriously, run it like a business, take the time, file with your state, look on YouTube, learn how to be tax exempt. Every $100,000 you spend a year, which you could spend $100 and sell and keep spending. So it's not like you have to spend $100,000 and not get any money back. Like every $100,000 you spend, at least in Florida, I say $7,000 a year because it's 7% sales tax. So do yourself a favor. If you're gonna do this the right way, you might as well leverage the tax code to your benefit and use every advantage and leverage the opportunity while you can. So my pick is Panini Combat Anthology and Sapphire. Those are my two right now. The other ones are kind of just wait and hold. I don't think somebody's going to come on the market and dump royalty for under $700 a box unless you get lucky in an auction. But again, like set up your alerts like I have on eBay. Every product here has an alert set up and I pay attention to all this stuff. So that kind of sums up the video for today. Please like and comment if you enjoyed the video, got a little something out of it. Please subscribe to the channel for daily UFC content. Tomorrow's video, I'm not going to say what the card is, but tomorrow is our single card investment analysis. We do a deep dive on one card in UFC, and then we determine, is it a buy, is it a sell, is it a hold, and how we kind of look at certain cards. Just as a friendly reminder, tonight on Golden Auctions, the Grail John Jones 2019 red ink out of 25 autograph is ending on Golden Auctions tonight. I'm going to be paying attention to it. I may actually do a little bit of a video and just upload it just to see the final price. Last I checked, the card was at about $20,000. It's a gorgeous example, BGS 9510 auto. So maybe keep an eye on that. I think it'll give us a good barometer of where the UFC market is as a whole. And with all that said, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you again soon.